And now, from Glasgow.
So hello there, this is the Infinity Gauntlet Premium Base Part 2. So let's do the checklist, then I'll tell you about three. Basically this is exactly the same as Premium Base 1 with the three slight changes. So we have C84, excuse me, we have C84, which is a nice quality bit of plastic. We have C86, again a nice bit of quality plastic. We have got B10, which is a kind of a light diffuser. Just stops the lights from being so intense. We've got EC10, and then in the bag, which I forgot to cut open before we started filming, we have got a wire EC15. And then we have got screws 2 times 12 plus 2. Now, I said about a few subtle changes, but essentially these are exactly the same as the Premium Base 1, except that the base is called, in Premium 1, the base was called C84 with logo. This is just called C84. This doesn't have a logo. C86 is exactly the same. B10 is exactly the same. ELEC10 is exactly the same. Now, ELEC15 is exactly the same as ELEC17 in the previous issue, except it's got a different label, presumably because you're going to plug it into a specific port. And the last change is that we get 12 screws, not 9. So let's crack on. So first thing we need is our C84 and our C86, and I can remember this time how it goes together, or can I? No, I can't. There we go. So we have that little line there, we have a little groove in there, and it goes into the groove and then lines up with 3 screw holes there, there and there. And it doesn't want to stay in. Don't worry about it's not staying in, because as we screw them together it will pull it all together. So we're going to pop our first screw in there, and I'm actually cooking dinner at the moment and the smells are just starting to come through, and it's making me very, very hungry. If you're interested, I'm actually cooking off a big batch of mince, and I'm going to have half of it's going to be a shepherd's pie and the other half is going to be a chili con carne. So I've basically cooked one big batch of mince with onion and pearl barley, and then obviously the first stages are exactly the same for both recipes, and then once the mince is cooked I just split it in two, and then I cook the two separately. Right, that's almost in. So obviously the procedure is exactly the same as before, but there will be a little bit of an addition on the end, which is where we're going to attach the two pieces of base together. But that's those two pieces done. So the next step is to add on B10, which is our diffuser, and because it's sort of what do you call that, a pyramid with the top cut off, I don't know. So there we go, and we're going to pop 4 screws in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice and simple. Now I'm filming this before I've published Premium Base Issue 1, but I did ask you, did you think I've wasted my money? I mean obviously when you're watching this, it's 2 weeks since I published that video, and obviously I don't know any comments that you're going to leave. But do you know, I think this is actually worth it. I do think it is. It looks really nice. It's just got that little touch on it. It looks a little bit more exciting, little bit of extra detail, and you know that's going to be a light. You know it's going to light up, so you have that anticipation of it lighting up. And of course, we don't know if it's going to do anything. You know, you never know. I mean, what kind of LEDs are these? Are these just plain white LED? That's broken. I think that's broken. Oh dear. I'm going to have to test that, guys. Because if you look at those 4 lights, yeah, I don't know if you can see it so much. 2, 3, and then that one's not got the little cap on it. So I think that's broken. So we'll have a look. We'll have a look. So I am actually building this on the day that I've received the magazine. It's not like I'm going to leave it too late. Incidentally, I have had a bad issue on one of the other builds, and for much as we complain about Fanhome, they did send a replacement part out pretty sharpish. So there we go. Right, so I'm going to proceed with this as though it's working fine. There are things I can do to make sure it works properly, but obviously now's the time to test it. Right, so guys, we have to put this so that the connection is pointing towards the middle, because there's 2 screw holes and 2 lugs. We have a post there. Line them up on the posts, and that will leave you with it lined up perfectly for the screw holes. So I'm just going to pop that first screw in there like so. And if you remember on the last one, I showed you what to do, how to line these up if you didn't have a fingernail. I'm gonna assume that you remember that. So what we're going to do is we're going to screw this screw almost all the way, and just get our fingernail under there, and I can get it under. So I'm going to just start to screw that in quite slowly, and I'm just going to keep going until I can't get my nail in anymore. And that one doesn't want to screw in any further. Now this one, same again. Keep screwing until it's almost in. It's actually rather difficult to screw in. I think the plastic is actually a really good quality plastic, so it's making it really hard to screw in. But what we don't want to do is over tighten that and ruin crack the circuit board. Right, that's good. This one perhaps just a couple more turns on the screwdriver. There we go, that's nice. Right, so we're going to finish this part of the build off. We're just going to pop this connector in like that, so that we have the label on the opposite end, so when that plugs into something, that's all good. So now what we want to do is we want to bring in the previous piece of base, and what we're going to do, you'll see some holes there, and you've got some pegs there. So what we're going to do is put the holes over the pegs, so that slips over there. Have I done this correctly? Yeah, there we go. Very, very similar process to doing the non-premium base. So we're after 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. These screw holes are going to get left alone. I presume when we put the bottom of the base on, that will sort that out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 screw in there. We're only using 1 kind of screw in this build, on this, you know, so we don't have to worry about doing the wrong screw. There we go. Right, got the first screw in most of the way. the second screw in. That's in most of the way, and then the third screw will pop in most of the way. There we go. And then what I'll do is I can lift it up now and I can finish this off. Now remember, it's going into plastic, so we're just going to keep screwing until it stops. We're not going to over screw it because we don't want the plastic to break. And then once those are in fully, we can just have a look at how sturdy that is. And that, I am really happy with that, you know. I am genuinely happy. If you compare it to the base that comes with the base, with the actual model, it is much nicer, as you would expect it to be. Right guys, so I'm a little bit worried about those LEDs, so I'm just going to set my variable power supply up, and I'm just going to give them a little test. Okay, so what I've done is, rather than set up my multimeter, what I've done is I've got this little battery pack with a little JST on the end, and I've just put a couple of jumper wires on. I've attached the black one to the black one. This is going to send a current of 3 volts, which generally won't hurt LEDs. So we'll plug the black into the black, and then when we touch the red, oh, there you go, that works fine. I don't know if you can actually see that, guys. I don't think you can. There you go, you can see the difference when I turn it off. And then we'll just do the other one. I can't remember which one has the dodgy looking LED, but oh, there we go, guys. That works. Oh no, that doesn't. How many LEDs has it got? Yeah, that's definitely got a dodgy LED. So I don't know if you can see that, guys, but there should be 4 LEDs, and there's 1, 2, 3. You can see the circles through the diffuser. There should be one there. So let's plug this one in again so that we know what we're looking for. There we go. So on this one, you can see 4 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very hard to see because it is daylight. So that is actually a faulty part. It does work in the sense that the three of the bulbs work. Yeah, it's let me unscrew this. I think it'll be easier to show you unscrewed without the diffuser. So what I'll do is I'll contact them and I'll say, look, I've got a faulty part. The good thing is that you can tell it's going to be that one. So if I plug this in, there you go. That one works, that one works, that one works. That one's got nothing on it. There we go, guys. Right, so I'm going to end it there. I've obviously got to send an email to Fanhome. In my experience, they'll be absolutely fine, and they'll send me out a replacement part. They'd probably send me out a replacement pack, which is, I don't see the sense in it myself, but that's how they operate. So that is my premium base. I hope you've enjoyed it. Next issue is going to be a new pack, because I've actually saved this for the end of the pack. Yeah, guys, hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week for whatever I'm building. Take care, guys. Bye bye.